Hi, welcome back. It's your girl Briera, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I would like to first and foremost thank our Heavenly Parents, Mother, Father, Source of Creation, for giving me this opportunity to be here with you today. I would like to do a quick Angel Guide Oracle reading for the Pisces. This will be an Angel Guide Oracle reading that helps to focus on your strength, heart, and guidance at this time. I would like to call on the Holy Spirit and my spirit team to please come to my side to help me deliver divine messages that is of the highest white light. Remember, these messages are general, so please take what resonates and leave what doesn't, all right? So let's just jump right into your Angel Guide Oracle reading, Pisces, and let's see what your strength is at this time. And it's in your favor in the current situation, okay? Thank you, Holy Spirit, Holy Spirit team. This is for Pisces. But it's Pisces strength at this time. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Spirit team. Pisces strength at this time. Palladian activation, okay? And I feel like that is all about, honestly, making sure that you are communicating with truth and clarity, you know, not only for yourself, but everyone that surrounds you or that is involved in a certain or a particular situation, okay? I feel like it's all about coming together. It's all about things being in alignment, or you having the ability to realign certain perspectives to really show the signs and the reminders for what they really are when it comes to the spiritual aspect of things. Because at the end of the day, it's all about resolving issues. It's all about making sure that things are coming together so that we are raising not only our vibrations individually, but Earth's as a whole, right? So it's all about constantly making sure that you aren't being torn between, you know, what to do now and what is going to be beneficial for the future, right? So it's really important for you to always be in this energy of just setting realistic goals, but making sure, like right now, I feel like, you know, Pisces, it's all about the financial redirection. It's all about making sure that you are focused on your financial future, making sure that you are truly in control of your financial future is really what the message is. And I feel like make sure that you are finding ways to resolve certain outstanding, you know, balances is what I'm gathering, because I feel like it's all about finding that balance and not juggling too much. And I feel like that is truly what it is. It's like, not saying that you can't focus on your passion or your love, or, you know, your, I feel like this is like a new relationship, you know, like, you know, the beginning stages to something, because I feel like, and I'm not even trying to get like that, but I am trying to get like that, because I feel like it's very important for you to understand that it's all about that healing period. You have to give yourself that time in between doing anything that is on the passion end of things, because you don't want to put all of your emotions, those intense emotions, because I feel like when you take time for yourself after whatever transformation you have been through, whether that is ending out a tough cycle, whether that is, you know, birthing something new into the world or creating something new into the world, it's always these intense emotions that come with whatever stage of life you are in or whatever experience you are having. So I feel like taking time to truly figure out what those hidden gems is beneath those intense emotions will help you in a particular situation when it comes to resolving issues of the heart and the mind, because, or just with people that is within your family or your friend group, because I feel like it constantly goes from, or it just feels like, I'm about my business and I'm about my family, but then something ends with one, and then it's just like you have to choose, but you don't have to choose. You have to find the balance, and if you can't find the balance, and this is something new, and this is not a marriage, and you don't have children, and this isn't something that you already have been building off of, you should really take time for yourself and focus more on your career, focus more on that financial future, because at the end of the day, these relationships will be there. And when fertility and certain energy is in the air, and we have to be mature with that, because that is how that baby booming little energy happen, right? Or however, the time with all the people, and they came, and then they was doing the do, and they had all the babies, and then they was calling them the baby boomers or whatever. Isn't that what it's called? I don't know. But we know that is a whole situation, right? Because we know that the energy that is put out can be so intense that it ripples throughout everyone. So you have to be very mindful of that, and just continue to instill the values of what it means to actually be independent, and be integrity based action moving forward. Don't be in this energy of feeling like you have to find ways to let it be known who you are, what you stand for, when it's all about, drama. At the end of the day, you treat others how you truly want to be treated, so that you are able to rise above certain energies at certain times, so that you are put in positions, because that's kind of what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, if you are stuck in some type of conflict within your family or your friend group or your marriage or whatever, when it's time for you to be called upon, you're not going to be ready, because you don't have that balance between, the financial burdens and the burdens of home, and, the burdens of this and the burdens of that. You don't get it. And it's all about just making sure that it's all balanced out, and not being pressured to rush ahead or try to figure out things, but taking one step at a time is really what the strength is, because it is harmony in the heavens, and as above, so below. And I feel like, nothing is perfect, and no one is perfect, and we have to continue to just be in that understanding that it comes a time where things have to truly be in alignment with what we have been seeing and what we have been manifesting to be, regardless of things taking a break or things never taking a break. It's like we have been manifesting certain outcomes to be, so it has to be in a certain degree or in a certain form, because that has been the prophecies of what it is. And you can't tell me that the prophecies are wrong. When people see the prophecies, they are what they are, regardless of how they are unfolding. That is what it is. And that's something that I try to be very gentle with how I see things, because it's like, even though it's not unfolding how I see it, maybe I'm wrong about something. And especially being at the beginning stages of something, you don't want to be arrogant with something. You don't, like I was saying, you don't want to get all caught up with, well, I'm going to be all about, my marriage and my significant other, and not focus on my career and my passion when I have that time and that opportunity to do so. Because at the end of the day, once you guys get all like that, it's going to be a whole different energy, and you won't really, you're going to have to choose anyways, and then it's going to be the neglect, and you don't want the neglect when you can just stay focused on the healing energy that you are truly called to do, right? So let's see what the blessings that Pisces carry in their heart. Higher heart activation, okay? Higher heart activation. Dropping chills, divine love, your heart is healed. I feel like, yeah, I feel like just continue to pay attention to the opportunities that presents themselves to you, Pisces, okay? It's all about understanding how to transmute any negative energy or any energy that is trying to hinder your growth in any type of way, or try to overshadow the work you have put in on yourself for longer than it may appear to the naked eye, because internally you have to do the work in order to stand in certain energies, in order to be in certain rooms. You have had to do certain work on yourself and accepting yourself and people for who they truly are, because if you don't accept people for who they truly are, you won't see people for who they truly are. Excuse me, my alarm went off, but that is a true fact. If you aren't able to truly do the internal work and take the time, to really get to know yourself and accept all of you, you have to accept you so that you can see people and you can truly be able to help, if that's what you're called to do. No matter how you are helping, you can be doing absolutely anything, but it takes you to do the internal work so that you can see how to take it to the next level, so that you can see how to truly manifest it to be on a grand scale of things, so that it can move beyond just the physical world. Let's see what the guidance is for Pisces. Y'all know we be having some technical difficulties sometimes. We have the Chamber of the Violet Flame and it fell on the floor, okay? Yeah, I said we'd be having some technical difficulties with the karmic and the radical transformation. And it's like, I don't like to do the blame game. I do not like to do that when it comes to anything or anyone, but that is kind of what it gives. It's like trying to manipulate things, hinder things, putting the energy out there. It's not saying that anything is with me right now in this present moment doing anything, but I know the energies. I know what it is to fight up against certain things. So it's kind of like, it is what it is, but it's like, it's really time for you to focus on patience and actually understanding that the manifestations that you have been setting is on its way. And it's all about you receiving and expressing certain truths that is going to help you be in this constant energy of healing, because that's really what it's all about. Surrendering, not allowing for past mistakes and past ways of being and seeing and doing things stop you from presently living and future thinking about what's best for not only yourself, but everyone on the grand scale of things. So let's clarify with some tarot. I feel like continue to show the beauty, okay? Continue to show all the beauty aspects of Mother Earth, of who you are, of what it is to be a part of your team or your company. I feel like continue to highlight the great aspects of what it is to be a part of your reality. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to understand that you don't never know how you are activating people. I would rather see people be themselves and show us the great highlights of themselves. Regardless, I know we have gotten way beyond that with everything that has been happening, but there is still real people like myself that is doing things that don't need all of the things and the people that have been lost and what things should have been. You have to be here with me because that's why I'm here in this way. So at the end of the day, it's nothing wrong with making sure you continue to highlight the great aspects of who you are and everyone that surrounds you, because that is truly the Palladian way of being. We respect everything and everyone. What's this Palladian activation? Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Spirit Team. Palladian activation. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords, and we also have the King of Cups. That one was just kind of like right there. So I'm really gathering, Pisces. It's not like that, Pisces, but just be here with me, Pisces. Yeah, with the Five of Swords, because Pisces, someone is like, Pisces, if this is your energy, you have to take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I'm not trying to get all up on nobody's relationship, because I try to mind my business, but it just be coming out sometimes, and it's just like, why? I just, sometimes you have to see that it's all about shifting your perspective for a gained sense of clarity, right? And when you start to truly understand who it is that truly reflects who you are, you start to behave and show up in certain ways that is beneficial for everyone, that are beneficial for the both of you, that that is within that relationship. So at the same time, I feel like continue to be fair and don't allow for yourself to get caught up in the sadness of it all, or the cutthroat energy of it all. I feel like someone is just very, integrity based. They know what their power is, and they're not abusing their power, and they want to make sure that you aren't abusing your power either, because some things are very unnecessary. So if you are doing it, you are doing it for a reason, right? You're not just doing it so that there can be some type of passion or some type of doubt being put out into the universe about who you truly are and what you truly want, because at the end of the day, it's all about moving beyond certain ancestral patterns that did not work in the past. And that's why that Chamber of the Violet Flame fell on the floor, because it's like, what do you truly want? And are you going to make the decision, or are you going to allow for yourself to continue to be torn between staying or going, be torn between two relationships, torn between two reality, torn between wanting to have this financial freedom of the mind versus the financial freedom of the world. So you have to choose. And I feel like that's what's going on within a relationships, or within a relationship, okay? And you just have to stay focused and continue to pay attention to the signs and the reminders, because I feel like your angels are truly trying to help you see that if something is what it is, you need to make a decision. But at the same time, no matter what it is, you need to get your financial future under control. That's the message. The financial future, no matter what it is, needs to be under control and needs to be focused on. So whatever it is what it needs to be focused on. Why the King of Cups with the Queen of Swords? With the Chariot, okay? And I feel like continue to move forward. It's all about making sure that you are in true alignment, making sure that, you know, you aren't just, you know, falsifying things or just trying to make things seem like there's something that they're not. That is true. That is genuine. That is, you know, integrity. What is it? You know, why is it? What is it? You know? And it's just like, there's nothing wrong with questioning things, because at the end of the day, like, someone is going to protect what they have been created to protect regardless. You know, that's just what it is, because at the end of the day, we're not here to just be here. So if children is involved in a situation, then children is going to always be put first in a situation, and they will be protected no matter what. Now, I don't know what it is, but I feel like that's someone situation that they will continue to move forward regardless. They will protect what they have been created to protect, and that is just what it is. I feel like that's what it is. So this is higher heart activation. We have the Lovers. I feel like continue to trust in the unknown, okay? Continue to trust in what you feel like is right and true. Continue to know that, you know, everything is everything, especially when it comes to a lover. But I feel like I'm gonna go back to it, because like I said, I'm not trying to get all up on your relationship. It's an into dancing around the obvious, or the elephant in the room. It's like the financial future needs to be what's the focus, because I feel like the passion is what it is, and it's loving yourself, and it's loving your family and friends or whatever, but it's especially loving a significant other. And I feel like just don't be so caught up in that where you're not focused on what truly matters. Just don't be, you know, make sure that the attraction and everything is what it is. And I feel like in your heart you feel like it is, and I feel like, you know, in someone else's heart they feel like that is what it is. And I feel like don't feel like it's mind games at all, because I feel like if you just pay attention to the things that you know is happening in your life, and that is reflected back to you through another person's life, you see the channels that is opened, okay? And that's all that it is. What's this Lovers? Let's hurry up and get you up out of here, Pisces. I'm gonna have to, with the Knight of Pentacles, I told you, you have to, it's slow and steady. I'm not saying to rush anything. I'm not saying that you need to like make any drastic changes, but I'm saying it's the balance, the juggling too many things, and find time to truly be, you know, financially stable in some aspects is what it is. Because I feel like, you know, you know, just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But, you know, don't allow yourself to be discouraged at all, because sometimes you feel like you need to do things, and you probably do need to do them. But I'm just saying, don't get caught up in the whole passion of it all and trying to do certain things and you're not focused on your financial future. That is it. That is all. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. What's this Chamber of the Violet Flame? With the Knight of Wands. Because it's the karmic energy, you know, the need to brush things off, the need to find different ways to truly be happy, to find different ways to truly show that passion for what it is. Because at the end of the day, that's going to always be what it is. But how and what other aspect can you show up? Now, even if you are someone that always have shown up, coming, you know, quickly with financial freedoms for yourself or others, sometimes you probably have to switch it up and focus on the passion side of things. You take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But this is just more like, you know, it's really time to just make sure you're not getting too caught up in the passion of it all, you know, or I won't even say the fantasy of it all, because I feel like something is very real. I feel like it's more of the passion of it all and, you know, the intense emotion behind that. That's why I was so keyed on the intense thoughts versus the speed of your thoughts, because at the end of the day, you can really think that you need to do something because of the intensity behind the thought of doing it versus the speed of thinking that you need to do something. So it's just making sure you are balanced and you are seeing things for what they truly are instead of what you want them to be. And when you are seeing them for what they truly are, you know that it is what it is. So you continue to find the balance and you make sure that you are grounded and you not allowing for yourself to be without anything, you know, especially when it comes to your stability, okay? Why the Knight of Wands? With the Page of Pentacles. It's all about making sure you are communicating. That reflecting period is really what this is. That's really the guidance, you know. I try to see it from a lot of different angles, but that is the guidance. You need that time between whatever has ended and whatever is beginning so that you can reflect, so that you know that, you know, you are starting over and you aren't bringing any baggage along. You aren't bringing any old emotions along. You aren't bringing any outdated perspectives along per se, because at the end of the day, we are elevating. And I'm not saying that the ancestral ways of thinking being didn't work, but at the same time, we are in a whole different energy. And the more we elevate and the more we are able to see that, oh, it's time to do a little bit like this and like that and not be all like this and like that, because at the end of the day, it's really not like that and like that. And if we really want everything to be interconnected the way that the universe is already interconnected, and that's why everybody is all weirded out by certain things and certain aspects, we have to start to accept that this is how the thinking process needs to begin in order to achieve the goal of reaching the next phase of the reality that we all are yearning for. So, all right, Pisces, I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Don't allow for yourself to feel like you have to rush anything or you have to be over here and be over there. You focus on one thing at a time and make sure that you are staying grounded, okay? All right, Pisces, you take what resonates. I am sending you peace, love, and light, and until next time.